Wondering how you can help your kids with virtual school? Well, coming up in this video, I'm going to give you 6 tips to show you how you can be a better support as a parent. Welcome to the Better Dad channel. I'm Damon Sumner, and if it's your first time checking us out, thanks so much for coming to our channel here. Make sure that you subscribe, like, hit the bell, because every week we like to give you great content to better help you as a parent. So let's jump right into 6 tips here of how you can better serve and support your kid with virtual school. Tip number 1 is that you really want to help your kids with the right mindset. I know that we're not talking about a physical thing here, but when we're talking about the mindset of a student going back to a virtual school, to be honest, after quarantine, in the midst of a pandemic here, the mindset is an important piece of the puzzle here. We want to help kids understand that, hey, this isn't going to be perfect. This isn't even going to be ideal, right? We want to talk about the fact that, honestly, things are not going to go that smoothly beginning. There's going to be difficulty with technology and Wi-Fi and trying to get to know friends and new relationships with teachers. All of these things we've got to think about on the front end. So as a parent, as a caregiver, you want to be able to showcase, hey, we want to have the mindset of a person who's going to be able to persevere, of a person who's going to be able to have endurance and really get through this, because we know there's going to be light at the end of the tunnel. So helping our kids have the right mindset going into the new school year is going to be very beneficial down the line. Number 2 is that when the screens are off, we want to encourage our kids to do things that have nothing to do with technology. We're talking about getting outside, riding bikes, taking a swim, going for a walk, kicking balls, whatever it is. We want to encourage our kids to find ways and also give them some helpful tips to find ways to be engaged and to have fun away from screens. Okay, I know as a parent, I'm around the screens a lot with work and emails, and sometimes you just got to walk away. The same thing can even be true about our kids, is that we want to make sure that we're giving them opportunities, also giving our kids some tips, helpful tips. Be like, hey, the screens are off, school's done, we got to figure out what we're going to do with our hands, what we're going to do with our bodies. We want to get up, we want to get moving, we want to get outdoors, get some sunshine. That's going to be helpful to keep our kids energized and motivated to go back to the screen when it's time for school. Tip number 3, in order to be helpful with our kids online, tip number 3 is that we want to be able to know what's going on with the school platform as well. Whether it's Zoom, Google Meet, whatever the case may be, know a little bit about the platform as well. Know how to use some of the helpful tips, know how to use some of the tools, know how to use some of the resources. This information is going to be able to be helpful for you, so if your kid comes to you saying, I don't know how to do this, you've done a little bit of research on the front end so that you can quickly support them to be successful on their own. Tip number 4 is to make sure that you're helping out with time management here, okay? So you want to have that calendar posted up, you want to have it printed out, you also want to make sure that you have all the things that's going to be important throughout the day, not just school related, but also just extracurricular, right? We're talking about soccer, dance recitals, right? Just hanging out with family time here, dentist appointments. All these things are going to be able to help our kids be successful. On top of that, it may be wise to also get a timer for their desk. That way, whether the teacher tells them to come back online, or maybe they just want to have some quiet time reading some books, that timer can also just be a helpful way for them to track how much time they have remaining in the task. Tip number 5 is be a support when it comes to helping build relationships. New school, old school, new teachers, old friends, either way, we're in a different setting. We're in a different context here in 2020. So specifically, you want to really look into how can I help my kids engage their new classmates? How can I create some virtual play dates or some socially distanced actual real life dates? And just helping them out be able to have that social connection, right? And that's going to be really important this year, not just for our kids, but also for ourselves, and being a support to our kids to really find that way to have that connection and that social interaction with other students in the classroom. Tip number 6, we want to make sure that we're still maintaining strong routines, strong structure with some flexibility here, right? Waking up on time, grabbing a good healthy meal for breakfast here, going to bed on time, getting outside, exercising. These things, even in the virtual school world, we still want to make sure it's a really important part of our lifestyle, right? And so as parents, as caregivers, we want to make sure that we're doing our best to make sure the kids have some flexibility, but also that those structures are going to help them be successful. I want to know what time I need to wake up, I want to know what time my first class is, and I want to know what time I can log off and shut it down. Either way, you want to make sure that you're doing your best as a parent to lead out in this, because routines, as we know, studies show, are very important for our kids. The bonus tip today is put in some brain breaks for your kids here. They've got 30 minutes between lessons. Go outside and run around. make a puzzle, finish a puzzle, read a book, color a page, build something with their Legos, take a nap. Whatever it is, those brain breaks are going to just give a little more energy to come back to the screen and be successful in the virtual setting. Well, that's going to do it for our tips today. Again, I hope they were beneficial and they brought some value to you. Let us know down in the comments what else you would add or some tips that you've also been using as well to support your kids and with virtual school. Again, as always, I'm Damon Sumner. This is the Better Dad channel. Make sure that you like and subscribe, please. Write down in the comments something that you're enjoying about the channel and hit the bell for instant notifications. Otherwise, we'll see you soon.